game so far. You can see already that Flash is just extremely perplexed, just trying to figure out. You can see it on their faces.
Just look at guard. I mean, if Daryl actually tilts his head a little bit, he may actually crack his neck. That head is way too big, and it's giving us a lot of questions being posed to both everyone that's watching the stream right now. This is game number 2, by the way, ladies and gents. Slate does have some room to maneuver, but knowing them, they like to finish off in a clean 2-0, and I think what Slate has done so far is very interesting.
I think this could be a really fun game for all of us casters, right? Okay, I'm calling it. Esmeralda is gonna go to the jungle. Esmeralda jungle, Akai roam, and Phobia's EXP. I'm calling it.
Could go that
I'm gonna play it that way.
I'm gonna
play it that way.
This is extremely confusing, and that's what Slate wants you to think, Abstract. It's so... I can't believe I'm doing this. Slate's draft is way too abstract for all of us to comprehend.
No wonder I like it!
Oh dear. I can't believe I'm doing this, Abstract.
Well, looking at what Slate has so far, let's assume they're still going into a traditional, because, okay, let's say Esmeralda jungle, right? You have Akai roam.
Well, really
according to Abstract, mid lane, there's still the gold lane slot, right?
Yeah, let's play with that first.
1-1's taken out, Beatrix, Irithel, Claude. There's still Clint, there's still Popo and Koopa. They have carry if they want to, you know, go into the later game, especially with the Masha and the Baxia. They're pretty tanky in that sense as well.
Okay.
Dun 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 dun!
Yeah.
Yay, wait, I just realized that you guys didn't play the game with me. I'm the only one that put it on record.
Alright, fine. So, what Slate has done so far is definitely going to be like this. JPL on the Angela, providing the shields on top of on top of the Phobias, on top of the Esmeralda as well. FMM will be going on that Clint to stay in the back lines to form, to fight front to back behind this crazy wall of shields and tank. Not only just, you know, Seilah and also Adammir. Akai does, to a certain extent, does have a lot of survivability and shields. Flash, on the other hand, they need to find a way to go and slip into the Clint at the back line. The way they will do this is using Alpha V9 to flank Reminiscent with the Baxia to jump over everything else. Kayzeepi on the Kadita to go in and snipe out FMM before everything goes crazy.
And with that said and done, we do have a very exciting and a very different kind of draft, which we will break it down in really soon. But this is going to be the introduction for game number 2 between Team Flash versus Slate. If whether Team Flash is going to turn this into a 1-1 or will Slate turn this into a 2-0, which is definitely not something that a lot of people is looking out for. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive right into the Land of Dawn and take a look at the jungling positions, in which the gear is going to be starting off in purple and Reminiscent in the orange, which is going to be a rather standard procedure.
Yeah, and it turns out, looking at the drafts, that yes, we were right. JAYZ, you were right about Seilah on that Phobias is going to be taking that into the mid lane. So on the side of Flash, they actually respond with an equally unorthodox draft, if you will, with Kayzeepi on that Kadita. So honestly, Abstract, you said we're going to break this down a little further, but they're already putting some aggression out.
Unfortunately, they are not giving me that chance to do so. But Seilah trying to immediately save the butt of gear, immediately going for the flame shot to really just push all 3 members away, or rather, well, to a certain angle, and I wouldn't say it's away. But we'll take this chance and take a look at exactly what is going on. Understandably, when it comes down to Esmeralda against a Marshall, we can expect that Slate's Esmeralda will win in that lane. When it looks at the gold lane as well, Clint versus the 1-1, well, Clint wins the lane, or rather will definitely have an advantage. But we cannot really look at gold lane as it is, because there will be external factors coming in. For example, the Angela will always be there to really babysit this Clint, which is something that we are definitely looking out for. All in all, we are expecting that Slate to have a very strong control in the early stages of the game, while the middle lane is where things are definitely starting to get a bit spicier, as I believe that Team Flash is the one that will have the massive control of where they want to go and where they want to gank, and it's up to Slate to respond where they want to go based on Team Flash.
Yeah, you can see Slate still having a bit more control. Already Gear at the side of the turtle, trying to find that space for them. Pokemon though, bursting out that crossbow of Tang and forcing the FMM to back up the turtle.
And in the meantime, the turtle has dropped all the way down, allowing Gear to immediately snipe that out with a retribution. The rest of the members coming from Team Flash, especially for Reminiscent. He really wants to get himself away. He does have the Tortoise's Passons, which is going to deter Team Slate just by a tiny little bit. But the main factor is that he does have the movement speed to allow to get himself a quick getaway out of the turtle's pit.
Yeah, advantage still going over to Team Slate though, Slate Esports. So as of now, they do still maintain that lead here, but you can see Seilah, not quite the usual that I'm used to seeing. You know, Seilah very, very strong in his mid lane, usually has the picks, and the advantage was this time on the Phobius. I mean, understandably, he's going to get pushed back, and that's what's been happening.
Team Slate, the thing is, because of the fact that they win in both the top lane and the bottom lane, EXP and gold, that doesn't necessarily mean that they would want to go all out aggressive. Because of the fact that they can win in the lanes, or rather stay consistent in the lanes, that means that they can drag that out as long as they want. That is if they want to. The problem is that the opponent 1-1 is going to be one of the main problems. They do not want to go overly greedy and bring the game over to 18 minutes. But one thing's for sure is that they can stabilize themselves in the mid stages of the game. Be it 8 minutes to 10 minutes, they can hold that out and they can play based on the tempo and don't have to be too consistent regarding that. And all in all, however they want to play, it really boils down into the backliners for frontliners for Team Slate. They would want to really just jump over to Team Flash as much as possible, because every single one of these players really is playing for the Esmeralda. But speaking of the Esmeralda, I really would love to talk about the emblem, but it is really going to be the fight here that takes precedence as Pokemon soars into the skies and immediately gets himself the single kill against Gear, which you can redeem the code down below because of the first blood. This allows Flash to get himself the first kill, which is absolutely dandy. And this even brings up a better momentum for them because the total is coming up in 3 seconds.
Yeah, Slate Esports, despite losing that one death earlier to Flash, still actually being able to retain control of the map and push Flash back even further. Pokemon though, that one kill going into his hands, not ideal for Slate Esports. You definitely don't want Pokemon out of everyone else to be able to have that farm. So you can see both teams now grouping up at the Turtle Pit.
As you can see with the emblem showcase, we do have a very good oversight as to what emblem every single one of these players use. In the event that you want to take their emblem, you know what to pump now, as we are going to be jumping right into the game and see whose emblems we are going to be stealing from. Because I would definitely want to steal from Alpha V9 with the Unbending Will, but the rest of the members coming from Team Flash, they gotta have to make themselves a quick getaway before anything goes nasty, as none of the members from Team Flash is taken down just yet. Seilah immediately soared into the sky just like how Pokemon would have, but a single hit of his Wrecking Ball ought to bring Pokemon down, and unfortunately ran out of charges, ran out of time to go for another Wrecking Ball hit. But all in all, the main important thing is they did manage to take 2 down, which is on the side of Pokemon and Kayzeepi.
Yep, this time Seilah showing up in this game. The Demonic Force really not letting Pokemon or Kayzeepi escape from that fight. So 2 kills going the way of Slate Esports, bringing them back up, just creating more of a lead for them. And you can see that, I think when you talk about the emblems as well, what's interesting for me is that FMM is going for the killing spree emblem. So they're really playing for early here, it seems, because compared to Pokemon, he's not going to have usually that weapon master advantage that just gives him additional free physical attack in the later game.
Now, looking at Seilah's item right now, he went for the tough boots as well as the lollipop, and it kind of seems as though he does have a very good idea as to what he wants to do. Picked up Mystery Shop as well in order to keep himself in the early game to the mid stages of the game, kind of momentum playing for the tempo. So no matter what it is, they will have a chance to play in the mid stages of the game and really get themselves the power spike there. In the meantime, Seilah really popping off, getting himself the Demonic Force onto the side of Kayzeepi. Both Pokemon and Kayzeepi has been taken down once again. FMM takes control of the lane, brings down the turret, and that is going to be good to go for them, while A1, A2 in the middle lane is having that bit of problem dealing with Gear and Adammir. The question is if whether he's going to go down. I'm going to put my coin on him and say that he's going to get away. I really hope he does, because unfortunately JPL comes in from another corner and really cornered him out like a cornered rat.
Yeah, you jinxed it. You jinxed it. He couldn't make it out there, unfortunately. Especially with that rotation in from JPL to secure that, but Adammir now just causing so much trouble in the lines of Team Flash. And now Slate Esports already at the turtle, going to get this one again without a single contest from Team Flash. Adammir, just one person zoning them all out and preventing them, giving vision, making sure they don't come close to the turtle pit. Again, Seilah onto Pokemon. He has one job in this game, and that's to chase down that 1-1.
A good Astaros' eye that didn't manage to connect on the two-person, allowing Seilah to keep on going on and on and on. With the Demonic Force, nothing is going to be stopping him, at least for that time being. But after expending every single one of his ultimate timing, he have got to go back, especially since his HP has dropped all the way down low. Team Slate, they did manage to get themselves a single kill off of the heads of Kayzeepi, immediately decapitating him, and this gives them quite a bit of control in the top, mid, and bottom lane, pushing every single one of these waves forward. And with the replay, we will have a better understanding exactly what has happened and how Seilah even managed to get himself so far in.
Yep, you can see them just grouping up, slowly crashing down onto Flash, and Flash trying to retreat here, but the fact that Seilah has that Demonic Force and the rest of the team also has so much mobility allows them to quickly catch up to the members of Team Flash, so there's no way that they can get away with that. Slate Esports takes even more off the map, a tier 2 top tier turret here.
Oh, heavy spin, completely relocated where Reminiscent want to be. That is really unfortunate. Now with the jungler taken down, there is not gonna be a lot of help in the front lines. It is only Alpha V9 that can tank in the front lines, but most of the time you want Alpha V9 to really jump over to the back. But surprisingly, Pokemon is actually coming in pretty nicely. Most of his crossbows are dealing quite a bit of damage on Seilah, but fortunately, it is gonna be the hard guard that really gives Seilah a second lease of life. Slate turns things back, and now we're gonna be looking at Demonic Force just gonna be pumping out onto Pokemon, but because of all of that, weakness points all exploited. It allowed Pokemon to soar into the skies with a crossbow tank, but unfortunately Seilah still came back in with a Demonic Force to finally slap things down on the Pokemon. That is one big of a wrecking ball. I'm pretty sure that Miley Cyrus will be really glad about that.
Wow, what a reference there. The Slate Esports off the bat of that fight, they're going to be able to take the Lord as well. So they're progressing really quickly and super objective based. They know exactly what they want and they go for it. The direct counter, Phoveus against 1-1 has been so effective in this game that it's completely shut Team Flash down as well. And even Kayzeepi, I guess the Kadita was maybe, you know, a last attempt to try to come back against this draft of Slate Esports, but it doesn't seem to be working out at all. 0, 4, and 2 on Kayzeepi.
It is definitely unfortunate, right? We are definitely expecting some assassination plays from the side of Kayzeepi, because for Team Slate, they are understandably very back to front. In fact, back to back, because they don't really need to go to the front. They just need to dive over to the back and just do whatever that they want of that snowball that Team Flash has made. Because Pokemon, he's definitely got some mobility, Kayzeepi got mobility, Reminiscent has got mobility, but of course the main thing is really just to work onto Pokemon. As long as he's able to find the Astaros' Eye, or rather his passive, down on the Pokemon, he will jump on in whenever he wants to. And from that point onwards, the rest of the team can literally play together with either Seilah or Adammir. Because we have JPL, he can just go in. Gear, he can go in as well. Immediate lockdown of the backlines, or perhaps even split up the entire team comp, just so that Seilah can keep on going on and on and on with his Demonic Force.
This is absolute just like role disruption. This game for both of these teams, like it has confused me so much. But at the same time, it's really working out for Slate Esports. The fact that they instituted this disruption here, and now Kayzeepi trying to do that.
The breath of the ocean, as well as the Ocean Oddity, is just going to be putting Team Slate up into the air, but unfortunately not for long here, as Seilah immediately jumps himself down on the A1, A2, but unfortunately he's a little bit too far away from the rest of Team Slate. But that is going to be Reminiscent that completely being moved away, and that allowed him to trigger yet another one of the Demonic Force, getting himself out of Team Flash's base.
Yeah, and now, I mean, tear the base turret down in the mid for Flash as well. Gear with the heavy spin isolates the members of Team Flash. Alpha V9, the only one left. Kayzeepi spawning. Can he protect this though?
Oh
Alpha V9
my.
goes down as well.
JPL even used the revival to make sure that one of the ballistas does not go down, but unfortunately it will still go down. It did manage to buy them a lot of time though, and that will put Slate into another win against Team Flash. All of these micro plays that really extended and made sure that Slate ended the game right there and then. In that split moment, we saw JPL just go in for a rival. Was